enjoy climbing? Looking forward to Tilt Brush on PlayStation VR? And what about a first-person dance rhythm game? All that and more on today's show.
It's the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show.
Frank.
Come on, the
Frank,
Frank
the
Show.
Frank.
What? The
Frank,
Frank
the
Show.
Frank.
Come on, the
Frank,
Frank
the
Show.
Frank.
What? The
Frank,
Frank
the
Show.
Frank.
Come on,
Frank,
Frank
the
Show.
Frank.
It's time for the show.
Aloha headsets, Frank here, and it is time for the Frank Show. Now, we have a great show for you today, some wonderful news in the world of PlayStation VR, and to kick it off, CoolPaintrVR has finally gotten a solid, true release date, and guess what it is? Right around the corner, it's May 9th. Yes, you are going to be able to play like you got Tilt Brush on your PlayStation VR in just a few days. Now, CoolPaintrVR is everything you could want and more in a virtual reality painting game. You're going to be able to change the size of the brush, type of the brush, color on the brush. You're going to be able to work in a mirrored mode, so if you want to make the left match the right, you can do that no problem. You're going to be able to add bones to your structure, so if you want to move them around and have them actually be kind of like characters, you're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to take images and pull them into CoolPainter and draw from your image. You'll be able to listen to music while you do it, and to top it all off, you're going to be able to export your creations into, if you want some kind of 3D creation tool, and if you really wanted to go the extra mile, turn that into a game and then put it on the PlayStation VR. So theoretically, you could make all the assets for a future PlayStation VR game now on PlayStation VR, which is kind of mind-boggling if you really think about it. So, you guys, CoolPainter, definitely grab it. We'll have a full review on the channel, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the creations that you guys make. We'll definitely have a little contest, and we'll put them up on one of the shows. So let's have some fun. Now, next up in the news, something I am extremely excited to announce is that To The Top. To The Top, I know you guys are like, Frankie, what the hell is To The Top? This is the greatest climbing game in virtual reality right now. Well, climbing's pretty cool too, but To The Top is awesome because I love the music they have, I love the mechanics they have. They have this cool, like, grab a globe and jump into it and you're in the world thing, and it's so awesome. But this is the best climbing game, and you can play with multiplayer, so you can climb with other people and help grab their hands and throw each other off, and you gotta grab these things. Oh, it just works so beautifully, and it is coming out May 29th at the end of the month on PlayStation VR. The graphics are beautiful. It's got that kind of like Windlands feel to the look of it. Oh man, I like it so much, and it's just it's definitely a bit of an exercise game. You're going to be moving your arms, grabbing here and left and right, and you'll be pulling on poles, pulling yourself up. It's just such a cool game, and you can get such a nice flow going, and I know people are going to love it. Now, in other news, Volume, it was actually available, I think, at launch on PlayStation VR. It's a super simple game. It's like a looking, like bird's eye view. That's the word I'm looking for. Bird's eye view of kind of like a stealth game is actually getting a physical release from Limited Run Games this Friday. And this is really just news to people that like collecting the games in PlayStation VR and physical, which I don't personally do. But to those of you that would like it, it's coming out this Friday. Now, alright, so finally we got something cool coming to PlayStation VR that I don't know too much about yet, but I'm hoping to find out some more. Now, there was a game called Space Channel 5, where if you've not heard about it, don't worry about it. I was in the same boat an hour ago. It came out in Japan years ago for PlayStation 2, and it was kind of like a shooter rhythm dance game. Well, this baby is finally getting a Western release and an update, and the news of a Funky Flash news update. Space Channel 5 Funky Flash news update, something like that. So it is going to be coming out soon, I think maybe on PC, but right after that it's coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR, and I don't have any kind of gameplay except for this old retro trailer, but I like the art style, I like the vibe of the trailer. You guys definitely check it out. So I think it'd be kind of something cool and kind of fun and silly. I mean, who doesn't like a nice rhythm game? Now enough news. Time for everybody's favorite Ask Frank. Good catch. Alright, first up, Bongzilla has, hey Frankie, why are retro gamers more into PlayStation VR than your standard PS4 gamers? Now Bongzilla, I think the reason is that retro gamers haven't been playing PlayStation 4 games before PlayStation VR. They really haven't been playing games in a while, ever since retro stuff came out, because in their eyes, all that's really happened is better graphics for the most part. You know what I mean? There's no been break. There's no missing link. And I think in their eyes, VR is that new era, that new species, that that brand new plateau, and I completely understand it. And so for the first time, a lot of them are getting back into gaming, which is why I think you see a lot of retro gamers. Also, VR has a little bit of a cost up front, especially if you're on PSVR. I mean, it's not the cheapest thing on planet Earth, so a lot of older people are able to purchase them first. Maybe the kids get to use it a lot of the time, but I think they play it once or twice, fall in love with it, and bada bing, bada boom, you know how the story goes. Next up, Abe Chow is having tracking issues with the new PS4 update. Now, Abe, I am not personally having any tracking issues whatsoever. I definitely hate having to go through my privacy and share settings every single time there's a new update, but no tracking issues. Now, I put the question on here because has anybody else had any tracking issues? Please help Abe out, let us know below, because maybe Sony support will see it and they'll be like, oh man, people are having issues. We gotta hop on that one right now. Sean Seymour says, hey Frankie, have you checked out the Cap Mini VR? What do you think about it? And you're going to try to grab one. Now, Sean, I have checked it out. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's one of those kind of like VR walking treadmills, and they say it's going to be compatible with PlayStation VR as well. Now, I've not known anybody with PlayStation VR to use one. I have spoken to a couple of people that are interested in getting one that'll probably keep me up to date on how they work. So, I definitely don't have the space for it. I barely have enough space for my VR setup as it is, so I don't see myself getting one of those anytime soon, but I am very interested. I think that's very cool, and other than like a haptic suit, that is something I really want to try out. Alright, Red Flag 04 has a very passionate question for me. He says, Frankie, how does it feel to use magic in Skyrim? Red Flag, it feels utterly phenomenal. I mean, the first time you blast firebolts out, when you get into like the first little area that you can, you're just like, as silly and as crazy as that may have sounded, that's how you're gonna feel when you put on the headset and you can like just blast things away with fire, freeze, whatever you want to do. I mean, magic on Skyrim is a go. If the reason you ask me is because you're contemplating buying Skyrim VR or even getting the PlayStation VR for Skyrim VR, I've told a lot of people a lot of times, if you get the PSVR just to play Skyrim, it's worth it. It can be a Skyrim machine if that's really what you want it to be, especially if you haven't played before, because it is such a great game in VR. It's Skyrim in VR. Alright, if I butcher your name, Erish Shikuma, I'm so sorry, buddy. He asked me, Frankie, God of War or Super Hot VR? Now, buddy, I can't answer that question. The only reason I'm putting it on here is because you need to get both of them. God of War, I'm not finished with it yet because I don't have a whole lot of time to play for that games. I'm playing when I'm out like in my living room chilling. Sometimes I play it super late at night while I'm wanting for the video to finish rendering, but for the most part, VR is my way to go, and you need to have Super Hot. I mean, that is the game to show anybody. The first time they come over, you want to check out a cool game in virtual reality, you show them Super Hot, they're going to be like, damn, VR is cool. I gotta get this thing. It's just such a great demo game, such a fun game. It takes a second to get through the whole story. It can be difficult for people, but just take your time, take it slow. Once you get all the endless and the extra modes, it's just such a fun, replayable game that Super Hot is a must-have PlayStation VR game. I mean, come on, no. Cajun Asian 71 says, hey Frankie, where's that Rick and Morty VR review? Now, Cajun Asian, I reached out to Adult Swim Games, and they reached out to the community, and actually there's a patch coming soon, and they're gonna fix a lot of things. Now, I held off on my Rick and Morty review because I know that Rick and Morty is a great game, and I also believe in Alchemy Labs, and I didn't want to just kind of like poop all over a game that I really love, that I know could be solid, that just needs like a patch or two. So I reached out to them initially, they finally got back to me, and they don't have a solid date for us yet, but I will definitely, we're going to do an updated review, we're going to talk about the patch, we're going to talk about the issues it's having, bada bing, bada boom, so there's definitely a review coming in the works, don't you fret. That was a cheesy as hell smile. Bonkers Boy says, hey Frankie, what if you could only play one PSVR game for life? As silly as I am to have to say it all over again, Super Hot, buddy, I say it to everybody all the time. Super Hot is my game. If I was stuck on a desert island, they were like, you got one VR game, you're stuck here until the day you die, you can eat food, you can play your VR game. I would play Super Hot until I couldn't breathe anymore. I mean, maybe I'm alone here, but... Drinks07 says, hey Frankie, I'm having issues with wire tangling. I know a lot of us do. And I saw in some of your videos you have a ceiling mount for your PlayStation VR. Now Drinks, I do have a ceiling mount. I don't use it as frequently as you would think. A lot of games I'm okay with my wire just kind of hanging because I'm not doing as many jerky moves. But with your ceiling mount, sometimes the wire hits you in the head. It's nice to have the freedom of your arms, don't get me wrong. Like reaching everywhere, not worrying about a wire, not having it feel is nice. But when you got something like dingling into your head all the time, that can be a pain as well. So if I get my wires set correctly and it's like just in the right spot and I put it in perfect so I can move and it doesn't hit me, yeah, it's amazing for me. Heat the ceiling. And if you're looking to get some ProVRgear.com, my boy Caleb, he lives in the US. He says he won't ship to Europe, but just reach out to him. I promise you, he'll probably ship to Europe. But he makes some great custom-made stuff to hang stuff on the ceiling. A lot of controller mounts. We're going to try to push him to make some PlayStation VR stuff too, you guys. But definitely check out his site. He's got some great gear. And finally, Russell Stanley is having some left speaker issues. Now, Russell, honestly, you are not the first person to tell me this. I've had a handful of people tell me this. So if you guys have any left speaker issue stories, things that fixed it, or end of the day, if you just had to go to Sony support and tell them and get a new one, let us know. Let Russell know. I'm sure he would love to hear it from you guys. All right, now that's it for Ask Frank. As always, if you'd like to have your question answered on Ask Frank, just leave me a question below with the hashtag AskFrank, and I will definitely see it much easier than if you just try to leave a random question. Now, you beautiful, most amazing audience in the world, give yourselves a round of applause, thumbs up, high five, and if you think I deserve it, then hey, you could throw me one as well. But more important than all of that is that if you want to stay up to date on any and everything PlayStation VR and you don't mind this ugly mug, freaking subscribe. I mean, come on, no. Smooches.
It's the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show. Come on, the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show. Come on, the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show. Come on, Frank Show. It's time for the show.